Hello, welcome to a twin flame reading. This is for high-level connections, high-level romance, high-level soulmates. So if you do not identify as a twin flame, if you don't feel like you're on the twin flame journey, but you feel like you're on a mission for love, this is not just your run-of-the-mill love reading. You might check that out for my Two Hearts Tarot, but this is being in mission, being called to spread the gospel of love. I'm gonna go through Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine. These readings will not resonate with everyone. They will not resonate with everyone every single week. Everyone is on a different path. They do not resonate with me every single week. I'm just supposed to channel the messages and give them to you. Alrighty? Of course, like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like a personal reading, check the description box below. My prices are going to go up in July, and I'm changing some of my readings, so get in on it. Time is ticking. This is a timeless reading, however, so anytime you watch it is when you're meant to see it. Usually the title indicates if it is the message for you. So let's give one more shuffle for the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine. Whoop! If you would like to win a Morgan-GREER Tarot in a 10, comment hashtag Morgan-GREER below, and you can be entered to that, to win that. This is the Divine Masculine. This is the Divine Feminine. So where is the Divine Feminine? Current energies for the Divine Feminine. We have the Nine of Cups. So the Divine Feminine is in a really content place. She's really happy, really satisfied with herself. Very much in the present, good food, good wine, doing the things she likes to do, her little hobbies, little joys in life, the simple things in life that keep her happy. That's where the Divine Feminine is. Where's the Divine Masculine? Oh, guys! The Divine Masculine is, he is in a state of celebration too. These are two celebration cards mirroring each other. Every week lately, you guys have been mirroring each other. So I think, like, with all the mirroring, coming into union is very possible. You know, I know sometimes we get hooked up on the when and the how and all of that, but I really feel like both the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine are in really good spots. What does the Divine Feminine want to tell the Divine Masculine? Let me move this over just a smidge, just a smidge. What does the Divine Feminine want to tell the Divine Masculine? We have the Sun reversed. So in this Sun, it's a little different. Usually the Sun just shows like one child on a horse in the, you know, with sunflowers and the sunshine. But with this, it's two people who are looking directly into each other's eyes. So it's like you can see their soul, right? Like their soul shines whenever you look in their eyes. And so whenever it's reversed, it's kind of like what the Divine Feminine wants to tell you is that her life may be a little partly cloudy, right? Sure, she is in this Nine of Cups energy, but I mean, she doesn't have that soul connection with anyone. And, you know, she misses you being the light of her life. There is some light that is missing, basically. So what does the Divine Masculine want to tell the Divine Feminine? We have the Four of Swords. So the Divine Masculine wants to tell the Divine Feminine that they are taking a break. They are taking a rest. They are taking a time out from the connection, a time out from people in general. They might be on vacation. They might be traveling. They might be, you know, just soaking in the summer's rays. Again, this is timeless, so it doesn't have to be in the summertime. But they're just in a state of stillness, a state of recuperating, a state of taking it easy, right? They may have had some emotional upheaval in the recent past or, you know, over the last few years, and they just want to mellow out for a little bit. They may even be taking a break from relationships in general, right? Just like not even dating, not even doing anything, just like, ugh, all the effort and drama. I'm just gonna chill, right? I'm just gonna like let the dust settle on my love life. So I feel like they aren't making any sort of effort right now. They're just taking a break. How does the divine feminine feel about the divine masculine? We have the Page of Rods reversed. This is a person who is a little silly. Someone who's not serious enough, doesn't take things as seriously as they're supposed to. So I feel like, you know, maybe the divine feminine sees all this potential in the divine masculine, but for whatever reason, he doesn't have to be a he, but for whatever reason, the divine masculine sort of like squandered a serious opportunity because they were in this like Peter Pan complex, in this like I never want to grow up kind of mode, right? So a little bit impulsive, a little bit foolish and reckless. So that's how the divine feminine feels about the divine masculine. Sorry, divine masculine. How does the divine masculine feel about the divine feminine? We have the Lovers reverse. So if the divine masculine was foolish, if the divine masculine wasn't taking it as serious as he should have, right now, how the divine masculine feels about the divine feminine is that they stepped in it. You know, they missed the connection. It's a missed connection. Not a Craigslist missed connection, but it's a missed connection because it's like they couldn't see how much divinity this relationship had while they were in that relationship, and they only saw it once they were out of it, right? Like once they walked away from all this foolishness, only then could they see like, oh man, like we had a deep bond between us, and what was I even thinking? And I feel like that's a result of some contrast that they experienced, right? Like maybe they thought like, oh, I'll just date someone else and you know, win some, lose some, bye. And then, you know, maybe they dated someone else and then realized, oh crap, like, I'm not gonna find anyone else like this. I'm not gonna find a connection like this. Like, oh crap, what have I done? Well, gotta turn it around, masculine. Let's see, what is the divine feminine learning from this connection? The divine feminine is learning on ways to build on herself, ways to work on herself, ways to, in this Three of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles talks about teamwork, but in this one, this is a person who is solitary. This is a person who is all alone. So I feel like when this twin flame relationship activated the divine feminine, you know, she realized that maybe she wasn't as far ahead in her spiritual journey as she thought she was. Like she had like a whole new world to learn. And especially after separation, right? That required like looking at your demons, looking at your shadows, purging everything you need to purge, and really building a foundation, like a temple for yourself. It's like crafting self-love, crafting a way to honor yourself, so that if anyone comes in and breaks your heart again, then you don't, like, you have a safety net of support just within your own self, right? And, you know, maybe the divine masculine shined a light on some ugly things, and so what she's learning from this connection is to work on those ugly parts of herself and you know, practice more self-love, practice more taking care of herself, taking care of her own needs. What is the divine masculine learning from this connection? We have the Page of Swords. So the divine masculine might be learning how to communicate better, how to communicate his feelings better, right? If you guys are in separation and you haven't reached out, then, you know, this might be a lesson for him to learn how to voice his feelings, right? Not keep his feelings locked up, because if you aren't the one who is reaching out, if you aren't the one who is constantly like begging for attention when, you know, perhaps other girls would, if you work on yourself and refuse to play that game, refuse to like squeeze out any information from him, then that's going to call on him to, you know, find the words to share his feelings. And with the Page of Swords, I feel like what he's learning from this connection is the Page of Swords can be a spy energy. So I feel like what he's learning is to read a little more into social media. You know, I said that divine masculine doesn't necessarily have to be a man, but, you know, it could be like a masculine woman. But in regards to men, I feel like they don't really notice subtlety, right? You have to be like very forward, very straight and direct with them. And so I feel like what the divine masculine is learning throughout this connection is like he may be stalking your social media right now, and as a result he's learning more subtle ways that you communicate, more like subtext in the things you say, rather than just taking you at face value and making like a misinformed opinion that is, you know, smaller. It's like a small worldview, right? It's like what he's learning from this connection is an expanded worldview, seeing things from a different perspective, gathering information where he might have assumed things before. I also am zooming in on these columns, right? And columns are our foundations. Columns can be like values and beliefs, and the foundations upon which we base our belief system on, right? And so there's one column that has fallen, and so it's like you're sort of shattering his beliefs about love. Ooh. How is the divine feminine healing the collective? We have the Knight of Cups. So I think the divine feminine is healing the collective by a romantic sort of way. I feel like, you know, over the years, we've sort of lost romance. We've sort of lost, you don't see a lot of rom-coms anymore. You don't, you know, see a lot of stories with happy endings and sweet little love stories anymore, right? And so I feel like, and also, you know, there's this big thing culturally that's going around where it's like, I can be by myself, all I need is my Twitter and my iced coffee, right? And so like it has kind of created this like isolated, lonely, like I'm an island type of culture, right? And we are more lonely, right? We are, there is a higher state of loneliness, and there's a higher suicide rate too. And so I feel like how the divine feminine is healing the collective is just believing in love again. And you know, people may think you're crazy, like, why are you waiting around on that person? And I'm not saying, like, put your life on hold. But, you know, if you still carry the torch for your divine masculine, if you still love him, if you still believe that you guys will be reunited, then a lot of people can just think you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? Just think, like, you know, why don't you get yourself a guy to treat you right? But the thing is you are committed in this connection. You are committed in having that love between you and someone else, right? Having that love between you and someone else last, right? Having love triumph, right? Love conquering all. You're healing the collective by just admitting your human need for love and admitting that, like, love will win in the end, right? You're still holding to that hopeless romantic narrative that, you know, happy endings do exist, and happy endings are possible for you. They're possible for me. They're possible for all of us, right? How is the divine masculine healing the collective? We have the Chariot. The Chariot is a card about moving forward. So how the divine masculine is healing the collective is he is moving the divine masculine from his preconceived notions into a new frontier. The chariot usually shows a carriage that is moving away from civilization and out into the wilderness, right? So it's this new adventure. It's moving away from everything you know into a new way of life, right? So how the divine masculine is healing the collective is moving them from society's expectations of how love is supposed to look like, what masculinity is supposed to look like, how they're supposed to treat their divine feminine counterparts, and moving them into the 5D, right? Moving them into higher commitment or higher connections, moving them into a higher frequency of love. I love it. Beautiful. What does the divine feminine need? We have the Four of Cups reversed. So the divine feminine, she needs to not feel rejected. She needs to feel accepted and loved and valued. She needs to feel not turned away. She needs to feel like desired and wanted and needed and appreciated, right? The Four of Cups, whenever it's upright, this is someone who is turning down an offer, right? Whenever it's reversed, this is like being appreciated, right? Being appreciated for all the love that she gives and all the love that she has, and, her patience in the situation, and what a strong person she is, and how divine the connection is, right? She deserves some sort of recognition, some sort of acceptance of love. What the divine masculine needs is the Ace of Swords reversed. So the Ace of Swords is a card about victory. It's a card about truth. So whenever it's reversed, this is lies, untruth. Okay, so the divine masculine needs to lay down his sword, right? We have the Ace of Swords here. He needs to lay down his sword and not be so like let go of his need to feel right all the time. And I know, there's that standard joke like women are right all the time, but I feel like the divine masculine might have undergone, a state of pride, right? Like, as like a self-preservation thing, right? Like protecting their feelings, and this is how it's supposed to be. You're crazy to think this connection is real. They might have outright said that to you. And so I feel like, that laying down that sword, that putting down that, it's really like a lie they tell themselves, right? Putting down those lies that they tell themselves, because it's a barrier between a once-in-a-lifetime connection, right? It's a barrier between this deep love, this deep bond, this deep connection, this deep soul connection. And so if they can let down their pride and put down their need to be right, then they will actually make the right choice. Okay, so let's get one more card just to send you guys on your way. For the divine feminine, we have the Seven of Swords reversed. For the divine masculine, we have strength. So the divine masculine is building up the courage to come forward. He is working on putting down that sword, but it might take a little more coaxing with himself on his part. And the divine feminine is working on being more transparent herself, right? She may have played a little game, like small games, right? Like not like super manipulative, but she might have had some sort of strategy involved, either knowingly or unknowingly. And so I feel like she is like forfeiting all those, all her strategies, and like handing it over to God, right? Handing it over to the universe, to a higher force, because everything she tried to do in the situation to control the situation fell apart, right? It like blew up in her face. And so now she's in a spot where, she doesn't try to micromanage what is the universe's job, right? She is coming to an understanding that what is meant for her will always be for her, and, you know, what is not just like naturally falls out of her life. So I think she's taking less strategy into the future and more of an open-minded approach. Let me know if that resonated. I love you very much. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like a personal reading, check the description box below. And as I said, you could win a Morgan-Greer Tarot in a 10. Just leave #Morgan-Greer in the comments. I love you. Bye.